underwater adventures with Canoe Squad. Scuba Kidz. Scuba Kidz is a 1988 game from Silverbird, £1.99, released on the C64, Spectrum and Amstrad CPC. Original version by Andrew Betts here on the 64, and with some fairly funky music by someone called Wally B-Ben. B-Ben? The evil Sea Lords have kidnapped some kids. As the best swimmer, you must save them. That's the plot. So here we are a scuba kid. And our oxygen is going down quickly, so we have to surface, but we can get an air tank. And we now sink down, get a key, whilst getting some more oxygen, and go through the door thingy there. Right, don't touch those, because apparently they're mines. And they will take away your air supply. You will have to keep... Your air supply does deplete, and you will have to keep on topping it up. Despite the fact you've got an air tank, because... Well, yeah. So, along here, just keep periodically surfacing. And over to the Spectrum. Zeit Corporation, that's Christian Pennicoat, I think, converted it on the Spectrum and CPC. And away we go. We look quite ill for a swimmer. We are bright magenta, but nevertheless, is magenta a word that's ever been used in any context other than Sinclair Spectrum games? Oh, I suppose Rocky Horror Show. So it's all silent with a few beeps. It's all a bit slower on the Spectrum. Some objects look like you can pick them up. You can't, so you have to keep on going back as well and getting more oxygen. Amstrad CPC. So just swimming along. You can't sadly end it all now and go on land. You have to go on your adventure. So we get the scuba tank and the key. And you're shown at the top there what you're carrying and your timer, which goes down. If you pick up a certain power-up, you can shoot air bubbles at fish, which you need to kill because they will deplete your energy, apart from angelfish, which have little halos that will give you more oxygen. Now, this screen may look impassable, but you can shoot scenery to get your way through it using the air bubbles. Graphically, this isn't 1988, is it? C64 version here looks best of the lot. Shooting the bubbles is rather frustrating because you have to be a certain distance from the object before you can actually shoot. If you're right up against it, it doesn't work. More oxygen there. And clearly another blocked passage, so we need to find a way through it. Go down and start shooting things, and you can find your way through. Zap gave this 66% and said it had a tacky graphical appearance. Right, this is the end of level baddie. It's always a shark, which gets more difficult as you go through the game. The instructions make a big deal of the shark and the fact you have this battle. You can't go left and right, only up and down. Go on to level 2 on the C64. Meanwhile, on the Amstrad, we're coming to the end of level 1. Mr. Shark is on holiday today. Is that because the programmer couldn't be bothered to program Mr. Shark? Do we think, ladies and gentlemen? So the end of level section on CPC and the Spectrum that we're on now is devoid of any actual baddie. You just shoot fish on the screen for about 10-15 seconds and then you go on to the next level. Incidentally, you have no lives, just oxygen. So when the oxygen runs out, it's game over. Your Sinclair gave 3 out of 10, called it terribly old hat and dull. So you've got to try and avoid the mines here, but you can't, so you might as well just pick them up and then top up your oxygen. Goggles there what are you picking up? Goggles or something? I don't know. The game places mines just to make it harder for you to progress. Quite often you'll just have to take the hit, go back, and get some more oxygen. You have to make decisions at certain times about which doors you're going to try and open. So this is level 2 on the C64. And suddenly it all seems very fast compared to the Spectrum and Amstrad versions. I mean, graphically, the C64 version is at least more attractive than the Spectrum and Amstrad versions. Oh dear, we've got a large section to shoot, and as I described earlier, the shooting mechanic is horrible. Go back, get more oxygen. I'm carrying 1 key at the moment, and there's a door down beneath me below. Now, I could take the gamble and try and go through that, but quite often you'll find doorways lead to dead ends, and then you'll need another key to get through another door, and you won't be able to. Well, clearly the programmer thought of this, because actually when the timer runs out, all the doors open anyway. I think that was to stop people getting stuck in the game with no way out, although frankly, quite often when you're in that position, you'll have no access to air, so we'll just die anyway. The name Scuba Kidz implies the game is aimed at younger children, but I think younger children would find this game very hard to play. It's particularly unforgiving, and it has some pretty strong memory tests. Oh, I could get oxygen there, but I couldn't. Extra oxygen tanks will give you, clearly enough, extra oxygen. Shoot my way through there and out. Oh, the shark hits me. Now the shark gets different moves. Every level that goes on, the shark gets more moves and faster. You just need to land a few bubbles on the shark, and they die, as we all know from Jaws. That's apparently how sharks die, apparently. I've not seen Jaws for a number of years, but I assume that's what happens. It is a $1.99 game, so yeah. But in the same month, Motorbike Madness comes out from Mastertronic, which isn't the best game in the world, but I mean, graphically, it's miles ahead of this. Or you could have bought for $1.99 Leaderboard, which is certainly better than this as a re-release. So, end of level on the Spectrum. So, we don't even get told that shark is missing on the Spectrum. You just read the instructions and go, well, it's telling me about a shark, but the shark is not here. I am indeed ready. So, this is level 3. It's very samey, and there's a lot of backtracking and having to top up your energy. But we get a power up. We turn into a man-fish thing. And all the fish go away while you are the man-fish thing. No warning when it's going to turn back, but I guess it's not that kind of power up. They will just start spawning at the edge of the screen again. You could go through the bottom there, but I've got 1 key, and as I say, be very careful about when you're using keys. Is this way blocked? I don't know what those things are behind that door there. Is it a goggles? A bra? Do I need it? Another one down there. Is it more a power up for my bubbles? Is that it? Is it a power? If I pick it up, what does it do? No. Oh, that's... Yeah, the game does this. So, I've now got no keys, and I opened a door there thinking it was the way through, but it turns out it's the bottom lock I needed to release. Now, you've got 2 choices here. Die, or you can go and find an area where you can get oxygen, jam the joystick up, go and make a cup of tea, come back, and then all the locks will have released. Back on the Amstrad. Right, so what does that do? Does that power up do? Oh, I can now shoot bubbles up and down as well. Well, that's more interesting. Oh, that's nice. That good game design there. Hit the side of the screen, find you can't go through. The game does that a lot as well. You can get that key down there, but I'm using a cheat on the Amstrad, and therefore don't need the keys. And I also have infinite oxygen. But this is what the shooty down thing's for. So you can tediously punch through the wall and get that key. Get some oxygen again. Go down. Again. Position yourself. You always get the feeling you're about to get stuck somewhere. And it could just do with some music to help the game. The end of level sequences have music and it helps it, but yeah. It's a very standard platformers and ladders game, really, except it's underwater. And now I'm thinking back to Jaws. Oh, the game just stopped there for no reason. I'm thinking back to Jaws, which I had on my Amstrad. I remember getting that game and playing it, and it being rather than something and nothing. Was it Alternative who re-released that? You see, this is... Think about Scuba Squad. Not Scuba Squad, sorry. Scuba Kidz. You just start thinking about other games you could be playing. And I'm thinking, yeah, perhaps I'll do a video about Jaws or something. Anyway, can't get energy there, which is a shame, because it's important to get plenty of air before you tackle the shark, because that will happen. My mistake. When you go to the shark level, you must make sure your air tank is full. Anyway, I've cheated and have just progressed on to level 3, or was it 4 now? But look how hard this is. I've got to get to the oxygen tank. And I can't. Because I've got no oxygen tank. My air supply depletes really quickly. Try again. Let's try this again. Right. Swim as fast as I can. Up there. I have to get that oxygen tank. Down. Got it just. It's that tight. And you got one life. So the first time you play this game through, I guarantee you're going to die. Second time you play it through, you're going to die. You might go... play it through 3 times, then get the hang of how to get to that oxygen tank in time. This isn't a game for little kids. Shot an angelfish there, but I don't really care, because I've now poked this Spectrum version. Very pedestrian. You can't avoid hitting the mine there, so my oxygen is now down to next to nothing. My oxygen is now down to nothing, but, of course, I've poked the game on the Speccy, so it doesn't matter. Thank heavens for the Div MMC future and the fact you can insert multi-phase pokes into it. So you'd have to hit that mine there as well. And sorry, I do have a cold, so I'm sounding a bit nasal. Amstrad version. It's very garish as well on the Amstrad, and the graphics don't look like a 1988 game. They look very time-soft. This really has a time-soft feel about it, actually. The more I think about that. Mr. Shark is on holiday today because the programmer doesn't know how to program a shark. And don't give me we didn't have enough memory. Absolute rot. Look at the state of this game. Look at it. Randomly shoot baddies for a predetermined period for no bonus at all. And now we've got a level where we've got to continually shoot walls to find our way out. Goody goody. This is going to be fun on the 64 in a minute. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Where do I get through? I get through there, right. Amsoft would publish this. It has that kind of feel. And Alan Sugar would probably hire a world-famous scuba diver to come along to Brentwood House to promote the game, like he did with Alex Higgins. Spectrum version. Same tedium. And of course, your oxygen will be running out, so you've got to get to the surface before it does. I can understand certain fish draining your energy, but all fish apart from the angelfish? I can get up there, I can get some oxygen, hooray! C64 version. So the version with the worst shooting mechanic. And we're having so much fun. It's a battle. It's an absolute battle. And I've died because I ran out of air, even though I was cheating. It's that bad. Anyway, let's press on the Amstrad version to see what happens. Although, apparently on the Spectrum version you can't actually complete the game. There are some pokes you can apply that will let you complete the game, but you can't complete the game as it stands, which makes me also think you can't complete the Amstrad version potentially, given they're the same game with different graphics. But it's just more of the same thing, just with more potential death traps, and yeah, it's not great, is it? I've become jammed. What's this, level 6? 5 or 6 or something, and I've become jammed in the scenery. And that just about sums up Scuba Squad. I mean Scuba Kidz. If Scuba Kidz had gone out on budget in 1985, you might have thought better of it. But this is 1988, where the market is much more competitive. Graphically, it ain't great on all the systems, but the 64 stands out and at least has a semi-decent soundtrack. It's not fantastic, but I'd say semi-decent. Gameplay on all the versions is extremely dated. Dead ends, memory tests, and on that scuba tank level where you have to get it really quickly, throwing you 15 minutes into the game and killing you instantly, having to go back to the start, do it again, and just retime it on one life. No extra lives. It's incredibly harsh. Some levels it starts you off where you instantly get a mine in front of you and you have to hit it, and your energy or your oxygen instantly depletes down by a quarter. The game feels unfair. It feels like it's been made particularly hard and it's rather poorly designed. I know it's $1.99, but this was released in a month where the $1.99 market was actually particularly competitive. In fact, the last throes of $1.99 software before the better stuff started coming out at $2.99. Scuba Kidz gives the impression of being a bright and fun game, perhaps for younger players, but the reality is much more like my character suffered on the Amstrad version, stuck in the scenery. He's going to end his days in a cold, dank and lonely place, being stung on the bum by jellyfish, and you know what? That pretty much sums up what playing Scuba Kidz is like.